Hi, it's Kamon Reynolds, and in this video I'm going to show you how we can light multiple smokers with different fuels using different lighters, and mainly show you the difference in certain types of fuels over others. Now we're using all American made smokers here, and I think that's one of the important factors is you have a quality smoker. The other thing is you need a good fuel, and the third, and I think this is, you have two camps here. You have people that don't get it quite hot enough, and you have some people that get it way too hot. And you have to be careful with these things, especially if you're in a dry time of the year or just a dry area. So first things first, we need to get some American-made smoker fuel. All right. Woo. We like to let the dead nettle, the henbit, and the dandelion do really well before we cut our grass for the first time of the year. I really feel like this is good for our honeybees and also for the native pollinators in the area. All right, let's get going. Smoker lighting should not be that hard. Some people, get all kinds of cardboard special wraps and, get the propane lighter and drill holes in the bottom. And hey, you can do it however you want to. The main thing is we want to teach you how you can keep your smoker lit and keep it working. Also, we like using free smoker fuel, and we literally use about a 55-gallon drum every 2.5 to 3 weeks this time of the year. Alrighty, so this is my baby. It is a 20-year-old dated smoker. I don't use grates in the bottom of mine, but this one doesn't have it. The one over to the left has one in it, and some people think they're great. I'm sorry, I just couldn't help myself. But I feel like you can get more smoker fuel without it. So how we start, we're just gonna get a lighter here and just get a piece of paper left over from something else, and the wind is giving me a little bit of issues here. All right, there we go. So we got it started, and I feel like it's important to get a decent bit of flames going before we drop our fuel into place. So I want to see fire coming out the top. All right, you can kind of hear that. All right, look at those flames right there. That's a good bit of heat. Now we're going to take this and we're just going to drop it down in there really quick. Now that's the cool smoke that we need right there. Nice and cool. Smoke follows beauty, right? Woohoo! And now at this point, we just want to keep pumping it and keep stuffing it in. Look at that. It's like a freight train. Now, tobacco works really good too if you have access to it. Goodness gracious. Smoke, smoke, smoke. All right. Now, some people would just set this down and then they would just leave it. I don't think it's ready yet. I want to pump this more. And honestly, I would put more smoker fuel in here, but I'm going to probably pump it for about that long right there afterwards. Now that's still very cool. That's really important. You don't want to be shooting all kinds of hot smoke, or especially sparks at your bees, and I think you're fixing to see a difference. Now, pine needles is my favorite smoker fuel. It smells good, it's easier to light than grass clippings, and these are pretty darn easy to light. Hay works really good. We use it a lot during the off season when it's hard to get pine needles or grass clippings. So I mean, just look at that, still going. That's what we need right there. I'm going to set this one down to the side and we're going to work on the rest of them. All right, now this is where it's going to get interesting. I could do pine needles, I could do hay, but they basically do the same thing that the grass clipping does. Tobacco is just a little bit harder to light than those, but it really smokes really good. And honestly, I prefer the smell of tobacco than grass clippings. So you can pretty much smoke anything. You just need to find something that's going to work. Now, what we have here is some purchased fuels. I've never purchased and used a purchased fuel before. I really don't like the idea of spending money on something I can get for free. But this is a byproduct of the cotton industry, and it looks like it should be pretty easy to start, but I've already tried it once and it was not at all. So we're gonna see if I can get it lit. And just because I've been beekeeping for a long time and I've lit, I don't know how many times I've lit a smoker, does not mean that I can magically make something that's hard to light easy. So here we got a butane torch. I find them to be a pain in the rear end sometimes because the lighter that's on these things has never worked consistently for me, even brand new. But we've got this going. It's a lot hotter. We're probably going to need it for this right here. I never could get it lit with a normal lighter. And that's the thing. I mean, some of these things, like if you're burning wood pellets or, chick bedding like pine chips or cedar chips, you're not going to be able to just do that really quickly. I see a lot of people, they're building fires down in their smokers, and I just think that's a very poor idea. It's too hot. You don't need a fire in there. You just need some combustion going on, some good smoldering. So we're getting this really hot down in here. It's what it's going to take to get this to work. So this is already taken significantly longer, but you're going to see why we need to do that. And honestly, this thing, I think if you got it going good, it's going to last a long time. But goodness gracious, ain't nobody got time for that. All right, now I just stopped doing that. All of a sudden, fire's out. Let's see how well. That's putting out some smoke right there. It's not doing too bad. But I get it a lot of heat though. And you know, that's one thing I learned after trying the first time, is it just takes a ton of heat to get this stuff to combust and stay combusting. So I'm not quite seeing that cool smoke that I normally see with my other stuff. We're starting to see a little bit of it now. Whew. Don't like the smell of it that much, burning cotton. It's kind of like white t-shirts though. Burning blue jeans, that kind of stuff. All right, let's see if we can get this one going good. Now if you're using something like this, that grate might come more into handy. But that's pretty warm down there. Ooh, that's really warm. Ow. Now look how hard it is to get that going though. And right now I'm telling you, if I set this down, it is not going to stay very long. There we go. My forearms right now are loving this. We're starting to see some smoke that's pretty decent. That's significantly hotter than what the other was. All right. Let's put this one down and just see if it'll last. So this one's been sitting down here, and you can see how it's not putting out much right now. So all we have to do is just do a little bit more and we're back in business. That's why we use this stuff all the time. It's just so easy. And if it goes out, you can light it back in seconds. I mean, this thing right here. Whew. All right. This one's already putting out as much as the other. All right. Last but not least, I don't even know if we're going to get this one to work, is using the wood pellets. Now, I really feel like with the wood pellets, it's going to take a massive amount of heat. I know it is. I built a lot of fires. We use firewood down in the basement. So I am going to get a small fire going from something else. I'm going to use the grass clippings and kind of get some going down in there and get it really started good. And then I'm going to use that. And then I might have to use the propane torch as well. But again, when you're using a product that, you know, has a high, you know, combustion point, it's going to be a lot bigger pain in the rear end to fool with. I think a lot of new beekeepers, that's what they start out with, because someone recommends, oh, just use this, you know. It works great. All right. See how easy that was? Look at that smoke. So we already got some heat down in there. And we're going to take this up a notch. Alright, now we got a little bit more of a fire going. I'm thinking we need more. More's better, right? Sometimes less is more. That's what my dad always said when I was talking a lot as a kid. Still don't understand what he's meaning. Laura, do you know what he's talking about? Hey now, look at that wonderful smoke right there from the grass clippings. Cool, very cool smoke. Alright, now we're going to take this. I just got skewered by one of those. Ow. So I'm curious to see if we now load this up with these wood pellets, that'll work, because earlier I tried just lighting it straight on out with this propane torch and it was taking forever to get it started. You're going to have to basically build a fire in your smoker, a hot wood fire, and you don't need a wood hot fire in your smoker unless you want to brand yourself. Now, one of the things that I do constantly is whenever I'm like, you know, doing something with the hive tool or whatnot, I'm putting the smoker between my legs like this as kind of, you know, just a place to sit it, so I don't sit on the ground. Sometimes if there's a hive nearby, I'll sit it there, but it's very handy to do that. Now right now the question is this wood pellets or is this grass clippings? I think what we're going to do is we're going to pump all these up, see how they're doing, and then we're going to cut the video and come back here in half an hour and just see which ones are still usable. Let's go ahead and load this up just a little bit more. Maybe the combination of both of these. I've got it filled to right here, so that's pretty good. I'm starting to smell, it kind of smells like you're at a job site and somebody's been burning all the leftover plywood. That's kind of what this smells like. Delicious. Makes you wonder if there's some type of glue in there or something like that. All right, so that one's going good. This is the one with the cotton. There's a spark coming out. Yeah, there's another one. There's another spark. Man, that's, I don't know about that. And this one, not a whole lot left right now, but here it comes down the track. Chugga, 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 chugga. Woo, woo. And that's how easy it is. That's why we use it. Pine needles work even better than grass clippings, and honestly, we just mowed that less than 24 hours ago, or around 24 hours ago. So I think it could be drier than what it is, and it would probably work even better. But look at that right there. Nice, cool smoke. It's what our bees need so we don't burn them, start forest fires. All right, I'm gonna get these pumped up really quick. All right, grass clippings. Okay, here we go. Grass clippings and the pellets. And boy, this weighs a lot more than these two do for sure. This one is just straight grass clippings. Whew, love that. And then this one right here is the cotton. Let's see what we got up here. So, you know, it's up to there. Stuff it down a little bit. Smooth, Kamon, smooth. I'm gonna stuff that down a little bit more. All right. Well, we're gonna cut this video here in just 1 second. I wanna try to get these things going, spend a couple more seconds on them, trying to get some more heat going. This is why we don't use these other fuels. All right, and we're going to stop the video. We're going to come back in exactly 30 minutes, and then we're going to see if we can get any of these to pump, and I will not touch them. And of course, you got to trust me, because this is YouTube. Anyways, thanks for watching our videos. We'll see you in a second. All right, so it's been about 30 minutes and 30 seconds, and wow, this one here in the middle is putting out a lot of smoke. This one is the one that had the grass clippings and the wood pellets. We're going to dig through these things a little bit and see what's going on down in there. This is the regular grass clippings, and this one over here is the cotton whatever stuff. And I was really interested to see. Now keep in mind though, when we were trying to do the wood pellets earlier to test this out, we could not at all get it to go just as wood pellets. Now look at this. This is a regular grass clippings. It looked dead. It's been 30 minutes and we're just, you know, probably about 15, 20 pumps and we're back in business. This is why we use grass clippings, pine needles, but the main thing is getting that initial heat going to where there's a good bit of combustion down the bottom. We have a quality smoker here as well that really does help quite a bit. But I will tell you, I feel like a lot of people don't get enough heat when they start with even grass clippings. It's very easy for grass clippings, hay, pine needles, tobacco to keep going once they get started, but a lot of times there's not enough heat early on, so that is really great. The smoke is cool, completely cool, and just look at all that right there. That is awesome. That's why we use it. It's very easy to stay lit, and it only took seconds to do that one. Now this one took a little bit longer, but we did put the wood pellets. We're going to see in here in a second if the wood pellets are actually going or if it's just the grass clippings in the bottom. Okay. So that is interesting. Wow, look at that right there. That is quite a bit warmer, quite a bit hotter, quite a bit hotter. The other one didn't have hardly any heat to it at all. That's a lot of heat, but look at that right there. I mean, that is producing a lot of heat. And I think a little bit of steam actually. I'm looking at the come over here and see if you can see this. The wood pellets are getting a little moist up top. It's what it looks like. Getting a little soggy on the top, and that's probably moisture. Let's dig through this a little bit and see what we've got here. Well, I just poured it out, so you might want to come over here and look on the ground. So the wood pellets are smoldering really well. You can kind of see different degrees of the ones that are at the bottom, and the ones that were further down, and the ones that hadn't been touched yet. So that worked really well, I thought. It's a little bit hotter. Keep in mind it took significantly longer, sorry Laurel, and it took significantly longer to light, but again, we tried just doing regular pellets by themselves, and it was very, very hard to get them started without a really hot fire. So maybe doing something like grass clippings or pine needles or leaves or something just to get the wood pellets to go, or your wood chips or whatever, might be smarter, because it's really hard to get this kind of stuff to combust with a low amount of heat. But then you can start with something that's really easy to get started, and then just to kind of have a hybrid system. That worked really well. I was a little surprised on how well. That was the first time I tried doing the combo, so that was great. I got a suggestion from one of our subscribers to do that, so thanks, buddy. And this right here, this cotton mixture, I mean, we had that thing going for a long time, and I'm pretty sure it's dead. I don't know for a fact if it is or not. I want to get this out of the way. Goodness gracious. That worked really good, though. Got a little bit of heat down in there. You can see that there's air coming through this thing. This is really important that you have a good bellows that's pumping a lot of air through your smoker. And by the way, you have different parts of your smoker. You got your bellows, you got your your guard here. Oh, we're getting a little bit of smoke. Hey! And you got your barrel here, finger shield. Come on. So this one I think is going to work as well, but there's a lot of sparks coming out of here. A lot of sparks, and I really don't like that. Ooh. Just kind of stuff that down a little bit. Just shooting it right out. That's one thing I've noticed with certain things, like really light, thin wood shavings or smoker fuel that's light. I'm like this, is that it flies out of the top of the smoker quite a bit. And if you do it at night, you see a lot of sparks. But this is going to work, I guess. If we pump it for a long time, we'll probably get it to work. But nobody's got that kind of time. But again, there are a few components that you need to... There we go. There we go. We're getting a little bit of action here. Lots of sparks, though. So, as you can see, there's a lot of different ways to do this. There's tons of fuels out there, tons of things that you can use. Having a high-quality smoker, starting it with a decent bit of heat, and depending on what you use, you're going to need more or less heat. There's really no surefire way. This is the way you have to do it. But I really recommend pine needles, grass clippings, hay, or tobacco. Very easy to get them started. They burn at a very low temperature, and they also produce very cool smoke, which in my opinion helps the bees maintain a gentle disposition, because they're not having sparks like this one hit them in the behinds. Thanks for watching our videos.